Good afternoon, students. In the previous class, we have completed introduction part of alkenes, and in that we have seen what about the isomerism. In that isomerism, normally alkenes will show chain isomerism, position isomerism. Along with that, one special isomerism also, that is geometrical isomerism, which is coming under stereoisomerism. So under stereoisomerism, we have two types of isomerism. Those are geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Optical isomerism you will get in 12th class organic chemistry first chapter. Okay, geometrical isomerism we got in alkenes chapter itself. Even the geometrical isomerism we have completed. In the geometrical isomerism we have compounds with same molecular formula, but they are differed in arrangement of groups surrounding that carbon. Even they have same structures also. They are not coming under structural isomers. Two types of isomerism are there. Those are structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. In stereoisomerism, those two compounds which contain same molecular formula will be contained by same structures also, but they are differed by arrangement of groups surrounding that carbon. Okay. According to that, we have two types of geometrical isomerism. Those are cis isomer and trans isomer. Okay, that's why geometrical isomerism is also called cis-trans isomerism, in which it is erased because of blocking of the rotation of the carbon-carbon because of double bond presence. If only single bond is present, we can rotate the bond. Carbon can be rotated. But because of presence of double bond, that rotation is restricted. That's why we got two separate isomers at a time. Okay, one is called cis isomer and another one is called trans isomer. I hope everyone you understood the concept clearly. Now, in today's class, we will start preparations of alkenes. Our side heading is preparations of alkenes. I am going to keep star mark for these preparations. These are very useful in our next coming 12th class also. Okay, which preparation and which type of properties, all these things I will stress that one. Please remember and practice them very well. Is it okay? Now, coming to this preparations of alkenes. First preparation from alkynes. What is the first preparation? From alkynes. What are alkynes? Those are the hydrocarbons which contain at least one triple bond. Those are the hydrocarbons in which those contain at least one triple bond. Those are called alkynes. For example, CH triple bond CH. These alkynes contain two pi bonds. Between carbon and carbon, two pi bonds are there, in which triple bond is there. In the triple bond, one is sigma bond, remaining two are pi bonds, we know. Then out of these sigma and pi bonds, which are weak bonds, pi bonds, they can be broken down easily. So when alkanes are undergoing reaction, by the breakage of that or cleavage of pi bond, they will undergo reaction easily. So alkenes and alkynes, they will undergo reaction easily instead of alkanes. Alkanes do not contain pi bond. Okay, all are sigma bonds. So to undergo reaction, alkanes are very difficult, but alkenes and alkynes, they can undergo reactions easily. Now we are taking alkynes. This alkyne will undergo reaction with hydrogen, which is adsorbed on palladium, charcoal. Hydrogen gas which is adsorbed on palladium, charcoal. That is the catalyst. Palladium, charcoal, that is the catalyst. On that surface of palladium or charcoal, this hydrogen gas will sit there. Adsorption is only surface phenomena. Already I told. This type of example we have seen hydrogen such that palladium, platinum, nickel. Like that here also. But this is palladium, carbon, charcoal. Charcoal is nothing but carbon only. Okay. Hydrogen gas adsorbed on palladium, charcoal. Now what is going to be happened? First, out of triple bond, one pi bond is going to be broken. One pi bond is going to be broken. Hydrogen, two atoms are there. Na? One hydrogen atom is added to this carbon, one hydrogen atom is added to this carbon. So we will get CHH double bond CHH. CHH double bond CHH. In bracket CH2 double bond CH2. This is ethine. We will get ethene. But one small thing is, if this catalyst is used, hydrogen is adsorbed in the presence of palladium such as charcoal. Okay, if same thing is used, this process will be continued because alkenes contain double bond. Here also one pi bond is there. Is it correct or not? That's why this one will be continued to form CH3 single bond CH3, ethane. Two times the reaction will be taken place. By first time, CH triple bond CH, ethane will undergo reaction with H2 such that palladium comma charcoal, it will form ethene. This ethene again immediately it will undergo reaction with one more mole H2 such that palladium comma charcoal to form ethane. But final product is ethane, but we want alkene. This is the thing, preparation of alkenes. That's why what we are going to do, this is called palladized charcoal. Palladized charcoal, observe carefully, that is called palladized charcoal. If you use normal palladized charcoal with hydrogen gas, complete reaction will be taken place to form ethane. But if you want to stop at this step, at ethene itself, this is deactivated by this palladized charcoal is deactivated by sulfur compounds or quinoline. Palladized charcoal is deactivated by sulfur compounds or quinoline. So this palladized charcoal, before adsorption of hydrogen, they will keep it in sulfur compounds or quinoline. By that surface is getting deactivated, on that hydrogen gas is going to be adsorbed. So how much quantity it is required to be formed as ethene, that much only it will be taken place. That much only it is going to be taken place. So up to this only it is going to be stopped. Next reaction will not be taken place. So highly active palladium such as charcoal, hydrogen gas adsorbed on palladium such as charcoal, we are going to make that one, okay, by deactivating, by using sulfur compounds or quinoline compounds to stop the reaction up to the formation of ethene. Okay, this process is, palladized charcoal is deactivated by sulfur compounds. This deactivated is also called poisoned. This deactivated is also called poison. Poison means we are going to decrease the activity of palladium charcoal by using sulfur compounds or quinoline. Is it okay, ma? Now, this palladized charcoal deactivated by sulfur compounds or quinoline is called Lindlar's catalyst. Palladized charcoal deactivated by or poisoned by sulfur compounds or quinoline is called Lindlar's catalyst. Name of the scientist, Lindlar. His catalyst, that is palladized charcoal deactivated by sulfur compounds or quinoline, is called Lindlar's catalyst. So if you use Lindlar's catalyst, alkynes will be converted to alkenes only and it will be stopped there. Is it okay, ma? By taking that example, I will write one reaction. Before that, without poisoning or without deactivating, the reaction will be continued up to completion of ethane. 2 times it will undergo reaction to form ethane. But we want ethene. That means alkene we want. If you want to get alkene, that palladium charcoal surface is getting deactivated by using the substances called sulfur compounds or quinoline. These are going to deactivate the surface. Then hydrogen gas will be limited up to this reaction only. Hydrogen gas is limited up to this reaction only, formation of ethene. It will be taking place up to formation of ethene only because of deactivating. Okay, that palladium charcoal deactivated by sulfur compounds or quinoline is called as Lindlar's catalyst. Now I am going to write the example by taking another example. Let us see all of you. First note down this carefully. Now final equations. Let us consider CH3C triple bond C CH3 but2ine. Name of this compound is but2ine. It is undergoing reaction with Lindlar's catalyst. Lindlar's catalyst already we mentioned. Hydrogen such that H2 gas such that palladium comma charcoal, in which the palladized charcoal is deactivated or poisoned by using sulfur compounds or quinoline. That entire catalyst is called Lindlar's catalyst, which is deactivated. That is called Lindlar's catalyst. Now, in the presence of this Lindlar's catalyst, hydrogen to this carbon is going to be added. One bond is going to be broken. Hydrogen is going to be added to this carbon. Hydrogen is going to be added to this carbon. Hydrogen molecule contains 2 hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen molecule contains 2 hydrogen atoms. One hydrogen atom is added to one carbon here. One hydrogen atom is added to one carbon here. We will get alkene. Correct, ma? CH3 C double bond C CH3 H. But in the presence of Lindlar's catalyst, we will get cis isomer. Observe, one bond is broken. Hydrogen is added to one carbon. Hydrogen is added to another carbon. Both hydrogens are added from below side only, in which 2 CH3 groups will be same side. 2 hydrogens will be same side. This is called cis but2ene. Actually, but2ine is converted to but2ene only, but that is also cis isomer. What is meant by cis isomer? This is normally written as CH3 CH double bond CH3 only. One bond is broken, hydrogen is added here, hydrogen is added here. This is the compound only. But in that, 2 CH3 groups are on same side. That's why we got cis isomer. But same like this, one more reagent is there, that is called sodium such that liquid ammonia. This one is also going to add hydrogens to alkyne only. You will get trans isomer. Now same compound, CH3 C triple bond C CH3 but2ine. It will undergo reaction to form. Hydrogens will be added now from opposite sides. CH3 groups are on opposite sides, hydrogens are on opposite sides. This is called trans but2ene. It is visible, ma? Trans but2ene. With Lindlar's catalyst, we will get but2ene only. With sodium sulfate liquid ammonia also we will get butene only. But the difference is with Lindlar's catalyst we will get cis-butene. With sodium sulfate liquid ammonia we will get trans-butene. Okay, this is first preparation of alkene. Here important point you have to remember, that is what is meant by Lindlar's catalyst. Hydrogen gas adsorbed on palladium, charcoal, that is called pyrolyzed charcoal, which is poisoned or deactivated by sulfur compounds or quinoline, that is called Lindlar's catalyst. In the presence of Lindlar's catalyst, this entire reaction is limited up to formation of alkene. Otherwise it will be formed as alkane also. Okay, simply hydrogen gas will be added. This is called addition reaction also. This is one reactant, this is one reactant. Both are added to form one product. That is called addition reaction. Is it okay now? So in the presence of Lindlar's catalyst, we will get cis-butene. In the presence of sodium sulfate liquid ammonia, we will get trans-butene. That is the thing. Note down all of you carefully. Out of triple bond, one bond is broken. One hydrogen is added to one carbon, one hydrogen is added to another carbon. That is happened here. Okay, this is about first preparation completed. From alkynes we got alkenes. Okay, we will go for second one now. Second one, from halogen compounds. What is that? From halogen compounds. Observe carefully all of you. I am going to consider one example, that is CH3, CH2, Cl. This is halogen compound only, na? Chloroethane. This is halogen compound only, na? This is chloroethane. From this, how we are going to get the alkene? It is going to react with alcoholic KOH. It is going to react with alcoholic KOH to form CH2 double bond CH2. To form CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, now clear explanation. First carbon contains 3 hydrogens. Sorry, this is first carbon, no? Second carbon. Second carbon contains 3 hydrogens. First carbon contains 2 hydrogens and 1 chlorine. Okay, now observe this carefully, all of you. This chlorine is the substituent. Substituent are functional group. Substituent are functional group bonded to one carbon. That carbon is called alpha carbon. Substituent are functional group bonded to carbon. That carbon is called alpha carbon. Example, CH3C double bond OH. This is totally functional group. That functional group is bonded to carbon. That is called alpha carbon. That is normal representation, not IUPAC. IUPAC means numbering will be given from here 1 or 2. But normal representation is, this is functional group totally. That functional group bonded to carbon is called alpha carbon. Next carbon is called beta carbon. Like this here. This is the substituent. This substituent is bonded to carbon. That carbon is called alpha carbon. That alpha carbon is bonded to one carbon, that is called beta carbon. That is called beta carbon. From that beta carbon, hydrogen is removed as H plus From this alpha carbon, chlorine is removed as Cl minus. Hydrogen is removed from beta carbon. Chlorine is removed from alpha carbon. But actually, first hydrogen will be removed from beta carbon. Next, chlorine will be removed from alpha carbon. Between carbon and carbon, we will get double bond. After removal of this hydrogen and chlorine, we will get double bond between. See, if two atoms are added to double bonded carbons, the double bond is gone out. If two atoms are removed from the carbons, we are getting double bond, like a reverse way. One more time, double bond is present between carbon and carbon. For the carbon and carbon, any two atoms if we add, previously we added hydrogen atoms. One hydrogen atom is added, one hydrogen atom is added, one bond is broken. Correct or not? Now, between these two carbons, one bond is present. We are removing two atoms, any two atoms, then we are getting double bond. So when double bond is present, if you add atoms, we are removing the double bond. When single bond is present, when we are removing the atoms, we are getting double bond. Is it okay all of you? Now hydrogen from beta carbon and chlorine from alpha carbon will be removed to form double bond present between, to get double bond between alpha carbon and beta carbon. So this is resulted as, in the presence of alcoholic KOH, this is resulted as CHH double bond CHH. Chlorine is removed, hydrogen is removed, plus HCl. Plus HCl. Hydrogen, chlorine is removed, we got double bond in between these two atoms. We got alkene plus HCl. Alkene plus HCl. Okay, ma? This is called dehydrohalogenation. D means removal. Hydrogen. Halogen. Both hydrogen and halogen are removed. D means removal, hydro means hydrogen, halogen means halogen. Both hydrogen and halogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, these are all called halogens. Okay. Hydrogen and halogen are removed, that is called dehydrohalogenation. Okay. First hydrogen is removed from beta carbon, that's why this is called beta elimination also. From halogen compounds, this reaction is called dehydrohalogenation or beta elimination. This reaction is called dehydrohalogenation or beta elimination. Okay, ma? Why it is called beta elimination and why it is called dehydrohalogenation, you have seen. One more time I will explain. Before that, observe the reaction carefully, all of you. Okay. Why this is called dehydrohalogenation? From the compound, we are going to remove hydrogen as well as halogen. From the compound, we are going to remove hydrogen as well as halogen. D means removal. Suppose in summer season like that, generally we will get thirsty easily. Means immediately after some time we want to drink water. Why we are going to drink water continuously? Because our body is getting dehydrated. We will use the term regularly, you know. D means removal. Hydrated means water. Dehydration, that method is called dehydration. Removal of water from our body is called dehydration. D means removal, hydration. There water is removed, that's why we use the term dehydration. Here hydrogen and chlorine are removed, that's why this is called dehydrohalogenation. That's why this is called dehydrohalogenation. From halogen compounds. Halogen compounds will undergo dehydrohalogenation or beta elimination to get alkenes in the presence of alcoholic KOH. In the presence of alcoholic KOH. Hydrogen will be removed from one carbon, that is beta carbon. Halogen will be removed from alpha carbon. That's why this is called dehydrohalogenation. Okay, ma? This is the thing regarding second preparation. I hope you understood, everyone. Note down this carefully. These are all very important reactions. which are useful for your next coming 12th class also. Please carefully remember, all of you. Next, third preparation. Third preparation from vicinal dihalides. First, before going to the preparation, we want to know what is meant by vicinal dihalide. Dihalide means two halogens. So we are clearly understood that that compound must contain two halogens. Okay, but what is meant by vicinal? Observe. CH3CH2Cl, sorry, CHCl only. CH3CHCl, CH2Cl. Adjacent carbons are successive compounds, successive carbons, if they have chlorines or halogens, two halogens, chlorine and bromine, bromine and bromine, any two, but two halogens must be there on adjacent carbons. This is example for vicinal. Vicinal dihalide. What is the name of this compound? IUPAC name 1,2 dichloropropane. 1,2 dichloropropane. CH2Cl, CH2, CH2Cl. This is not vicinal dihalide. This is simply dihalide only. And name of that compound 1,3 dichloropropane. 1,3 dichloropropane is not vicinal dihalide. 1,2 dichloropropane only is called vicinal dihalide. Adjacent carbon atoms must contain two halogen atoms. That is called vicinal dihalide. This is the information about vicinal dihalide. In the same way, if two halogens are present on same carbon atom, if two chlorines are present on same carbon atom, then that is called geminal dihalide. Name of this compound 1,1 dichloropropane. 1,1 dichloropropane is the example for geminal dihalide. 1,2 dichloropropane is the example for vicinal dihalide. Anyways, time came, that's why I am telling here geminal, but here we are using only vicinal dihalide. Is it okay, ma? Note down this information, and now we are going to see preparation of alkene from vicinal dihalide. Let us consider this is the vicinal dihalide. It is going to react with zinc. It is going to react with zinc. This zinc and these two chlorines will be removed as ZnCl2. The zinc and these two chlorine atoms are removed as ZnCl2. Then we are getting double bond in between carbon and carbon. Then the compound formed is CH3CH double bond CH2. This is called 1-propene. That is called 1-propene. From vicinal dihalides. What is meant by vicinal dihalide? In a compound, if successive carbons contain halogens, that is called vicinal dihalide. Those vicinal dihalides will undergo reaction with zinc, in which those two halogens with zinc, they will be removed as ZnCl2 or ZnBr2 to form a double bond present between carbon and carbon. That is formed as alkene. That is formed as alkene, 1-propene. Is it okay, ma? This is from vicinal dihalides. If you are clear, I will go to fourth preparation. That is final preparation of alkenes. Let us see that one also. Fourth one, by dehydration of alcohols. By dehydration of alcohols. Here what is going to be happen? Dehydration means already I told, removal of water. Dehydrohalogenation means removal of hydrogen and chlorine, or removal of hydrogen and bromine. Here removal of water is going to be happen. That's why this is called dehydration. For that what we are going to take? We are going to take alcohol. Okay, let us consider any one alcohol, CH3, CH2, OH. This can be clearly written as C3 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, OH. OH is the functional group. Functional group is bonded to carbon, that is called alpha carbon. Next to that alpha carbon, that is called beta carbon. Okay, this is going to react with H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4 at 443 Kelvin. Concentrated H2SO4 at 443 Kelvin. We will get CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2O. Removal of water is happened, which is called dehydration. Now how that dehydration process is taking place? Observe here, OH present on alpha carbon, hydrogen present on beta carbon. OH is coming as OH minus, H is coming out as H plus, to be combined form as H2O. From alpha carbon one particle is removed, from beta carbon one particle is removed, then we will get double bond between carbon and carbon, that is formed here. From this carbon OH minus is removed, from this carbon H plus is removed, this bond is shifted as double bond, we will get alkene. Okay, this is also example for beta elimination, because here hydrogen is removed from beta carbon. This is also example for beta elimination. Is it okay, ma? So this process is also called dehydration, already we wrote, or beta elimination. Dehydration or beta elimination. Elimination is nothing but removal. In previous thing also, hydrogen and halogen we removed. That is elimination. Okay. It is happened from beta. Hydrogen is removed from beta. That's why this is called beta elimination. Here, dehydration. Why it is called dehydration? Removal of water is happened. That's why this is called dehydration. D means removal. Hydration means it is a term related to water. So we are going to remove the water from alcohol. When water is going to be removed from alcohol, we will get alkene as the product, in which between carbon and carbon we will get double bond. So here what is the regular thing we are observing? When one particle from one carbon and another particle from another carbon is going to be removed, we are getting double bond. In the same way, reverse. When we add one particle to one carbon and one particle to another carbon on double bond, the double bond is going to be removed to form single bond. Like a reverse reaction, it is getting happened. Okay. By dehydration of alcohols, this is fourth preparation. By this, preparations of alkenes completed. Okay. Under preparations of alkenes, 4 preparations we have seen. Those 4 preparations are: first one, addition of hydrogen. That addition of hydrogen is also called hydrogenation. Addition of hydrogen is also called as hydrogenation. Removal of hydrogen is called dehydrogenation. I will write on board, those are all terms. Okay. Before that, in first step, first reaction, we have added hydrogen by using 2 reagents, Lindlar's catalyst as well as sodium sulfate liquid ammonia. By Lindlar's catalyst, we will get cis product. By sodium sulfate liquid ammonia, we will get trans product. Second one, from halogen compounds, beta elimination, that is called dehydrohalogenation. Okay. Third one, from miscinyl dihalides, we removed chlorine with the help of zinc. Fourth preparation, by dehydration of alcohols. Okay, alcohols will be dehydrated to form alkenes. Now, write the reaction carefully. What are the reactions terms we got till now? Addition of hydrogen is called hydrogenation. Removal of H2, hydrogen, is called dehydrogenation. Addition of HX, X is nothing but halogen, ma. X is nothing but halogen. This is called hydrohalogenation. Next chemical properties we will get. Okay, removal of HX. X is nothing but halogen, which is called dehydrohalogenation. Removal is nothing but D, addition is nothing but without D, means hydrohalogenation. Hydrogen and halogen will be added, that is called hydrohalogenation. Hydrogen and halogen will be removed, that is called dehydrohalogenation. Same way, addition of water is called hydration. Addition of water is called hydration. Removal of water is called dehydration. Addition of water is called hydration. Removal of water is called dehydration. Next, note down all these terms. Addition of hydrogen is called hydrogenation. Removal of H2 is called dehydrogenation. Addition of HX, where X is called halogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, ma? Addition of HX is called hydrohalogenation. Removal of HX is called dehydrohalogenation. Addition of water is called hydration. Removal of water is called dehydration. Next, addition of X2, example F2, Cl2, Br2, I2, etc. Means these four only. Addition of X2 is called halogenation. Removal of X2 is called dehalogenation. These are the general terms getting repeated. Okay, ma? Just observe these terms carefully, all of you. Like that, any term we can write easily, no problem at all. Okay, na? Now, next thing, we are going to see chemical properties of alkenes. Let us start that chemical properties of alkenes, ma. We completed preparations, 4 preparations are there. Addition of hydrogen, removal of hydrogen, ma. Second one, removal of halogen and hydrogen from halogen compounds. Third one, from vicinal halides, dihalides. Fourth one, by dehydration of alcohols. Okay, next one. Preparations of alkenes topic is completed. Physical properties in the last we will see. Next we can go through chemical properties. Under chemical properties, first one, addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen, already we told what is that addition of hydrogen? Hydrogenation. Okay, let us take example. CH2 double bond CH2 will be reacted with H2 such that nickel, platinum or palladium. Now addition of hydrogen is going to be happened. Okay, what will be happened here? CH3 single bond CH3. This is the chemical property. In previous first example, first preparation, we need to get alkene. So we stopped that up to alkene by poisoning that hydrogen such as palladium. charcoal. Here, this one will undergo reaction with hydrogen further to form alkane. Sorry, this is CH3 ma. One hydrogen is added to this carbon, one hydrogen is added to this carbon. Simply this is called hydrogenation. Alkenes will undergo hydrogenation to form alkane. This is ethane, ethane, ethene. Simple one. First one is completed. Under chemical properties, first one is completed. Second one, addition of halogen. Separately we will deal ma. See. Addition of halogen. Halogen is nothing but Br2. For example, I told Br2, bromine. Okay, this is called halogenation. Addition of halogen is called halogenation. Let us see any double bond containing carbon. C double bond C, H, 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 H. Reacts with Br2 in CCl4. Carbon tetrachloride, that is a solvent. Br2 in carbon tetrachloride. Okay, it is in reddish brown color. This is colorless. This is in reddish brown color. This is colorless. When both are added, we will get CH3 single bond, sorry, CH2Br, CH2Br. Bromine will be added to, one bromine will be added to first carbon, another bromine will be added to another carbon. We will get vicinal dihalide. This is also colorless. This is used as test for unsaturation. This is used as test for unsaturation. Given compound, whether it is alkene or alkyne, we don't know. Or alkane also we don't know. Given compound will be taken in test tube. To that, reddish brown colored bromine dissolved in CCl4 will be added. As soon as it is added, we can see that reddish brown color will be disappeared. Disappearance of reddish brown color. Reddish brown color is disappeared. What is the meaning? Bromine undergoes reaction with double bond. Then we can say that our given compound contains double bond. Then we can say that our given compound contains double bond. Okay? This is getting colorless, na? This one is contained by reddish brown color. This is contained by colorless. If this is added, we will get colorless. That means if decolorization is happened, decolorization of bromine is happened. That is used as, this is used as test for unsaturation. This is used as test for unsaturation, not only for double bonds, even triple bonds also will be recognized. If no reaction is happened, that means reddish brown color is remain like that only. That is alkane, because alkanes will not undergo reaction with bromine directly. This is first reaction. Okay. Second one. First one, reaction with hydrogen, means addition with hydrogen. This is addition of halogen. Addition of halogen is used as test for unsaturation, because bromine is in reddish brown colored gas, liquid, sorry, not gas, but liquid. If it is added to our given compound which contains double bond or triple bond, here double bond we can take, immediately decolorization is happened. By seeing that decolorization is happened, we can understand that it contains unsaturated compounds, alkenes or alkynes. That is the thing. So this is used as test for unsaturation. Decolorization of bromine is happened. This is used as test for unsaturation. This is about second chemical property. Okay, that is enough for today. We will continue this chemical properties in next class. Our third chemical property will continue in next class, which is very important, addition of HBr, hydrogen halide. HCl, HBr like that. Okay, that one we will see in next class ma. I hope you are clear about today's class. We have seen preparations of alkenes. After that we started chemical properties. Under chemical properties, two chemical properties we have seen. Okay ma. If you have any doubts, immediately you can ask me. Thank you all of you. Once again, Happy New Year for you. Okay ma. Have a nice day.